heaviness in the air that you have likely felt intensifying over the last few weeks. A specific kind of pressure in your chest that feels different from the usual stress of daily life. You might have found yourself waking up in the middle of the night, sensing that the hands of the clock are moving faster than they should, or feeling a strange magnetic pull toward a future you cannot yet see. I want you to know right now that this is not anxiety. This is not paranoia. This is discernment. Your spirit is picking up on a frequency that the rest of the world is completely deaf to. An alert signal flashing red in the spiritual realm regarding the month of January 2026. This date is not arbitrary, and the timeline we are currently walking is not random. In the divine calendar, there are seasons of grace and there are seasons of judgment. But more importantly, there are windows of opportunity, what the ancients called kairos moments, and there are windows that shut. We are approaching a definitive horizon line. January 2026 marks the closing of a specific cycle of preparatory grace that has been active for years, a cycle that many of you have found exhausting. It represents a spiritual point of no return for the trajectory of the human soul. I'm not speaking of the end of the physical world, but rather the sealing of spiritual destinies. It is similar to the moment Noah closed the door to the ark. Life outside went on as normal for a while. People ate and drank, but the opportunity to enter safety had already passed. The atmosphere is shifting because we are moving from a time of invitation to a time of consequence. If you are hearing this, you are being given the foresight to position yourself before the door locks, and it is vital that you understand the gravity of this transition. Before we delve deeper into the mechanics of this shift, I need to offer you a practical anchor. Navigating this transition requires more than just intuition. It requires a structured way to unlock your potential and stabilize your reality. This is why I strongly recommend you explore The 3 Keys to a Prosperous Life. This is not just a book. It is a tactical map designed specifically for the chosen to finally awaken to who they really are, to heal the invisible traumas that have held them back, and to expand with stability. It teaches you how to receive, sustain, and multiply your blessings without the guilt that often plagues spiritual people. Available as both an e-book for deep study and an audiobook for immersion, The 3 Keys to a Prosperous Life is the companion you need for this journey. It is a trilogy of wisdom meant to fortify you for what is coming. If you feel this calling, you can find the link in the pinned comment or description below. Do not let this resource pass you by. It is time to equip yourself. Returning to the urgency of our timeline, we must understand the anatomy of this point of no return. In aviation, there is a concept known as V1. It is the speed at which an aircraft is committed to flying. Once that speed is reached, the pilot cannot abort the takeoff no matter what happens. If they try to stop on the runway, the plane will crash. They must fly or they will face disaster. January 2026 is the spiritual V1 speed for the collective consciousness. For the last several years, the Creator has allowed a gray zone, a period of mercy where the chosen could oscillate between the matrix and the kingdom. You could dip your toe in the world, make mistakes, get distracted, and then run back to your spiritual center without immediate, catastrophic consequences. That grace was there to let you learn. However, the frequency of the earth is changing, and that gray zone is evaporating. We are entering a time of absolute polarization. The separation between the wheat and the tares is no longer theoretical. It is becoming structural. After January 2026, those who have firmly chosen the path of light and discipline will be propelled into levels of authority and spiritual power that seem almost miraculous. But conversely, those who have chosen distraction, ego, and compromise will find themselves locked into a density that will be incredibly exhausting to escape. It is as if the cement is drying. You are choosing the shape of your soul right now, and soon that shape will set. This is why you might feel such resistance lately. The enemy is trying to ensure you are solidified in a posture of defeat before the concrete hardens. If this message is resonating with your spirit, I invite you to click the like button, not for the algorithm, but as a digital signal that you are awake and paying attention. It helps this warning reach others who are currently sleepwalking toward the cliff. You might be asking, why specifically January 2026? If we look at the divine mathematics of time, we see that God often operates in cycles of 7. Look back at the world in late 2019 and early 2020. That was the beginning of a global shaking, a massive disruption that altered the fabric of society. We are currently walking through the closing years of a 7-year cycle of tribulation, testing, and exposure. January 2026 represents the 8th day, the number of new beginnings, but this new beginning is conditional. It is only a fresh start for those who have allowed the fire of the last few years to refine them. For the rest of the world, it will simply be a continuation of chaos and confusion. The heavens are aligning to expose everything that is hidden. We are already seeing this in our institutions, in leadership, and in the media. Nothing can remain secret, but this applies to you as well. The truth of who you are is about to be made manifest. For the chosen, this is good news. It means that the unique gifts you possess, the very things you were ridiculed for, your sensitivity, your inability to tolerate lies, your strange visions, are about to become the most valuable currency on earth. The world is starving for truth, and you are the carriers of it. But to access this destiny, your purification must be complete by the deadline. You cannot bring the baggage of the old cycle into the new one. Between now and that date, you must be vigilant, because the opposition knows that its time is short. The attacks you will face in the coming months will not primarily be physical. They will be mental and emotional. The enemy's strategy is to induce a state of spiritual amnesia. There are 3 specific traps being laid out for you right now. The first is digital distraction and numbing. The system is designed to flood you with cheap dopamine, to keep you scrolling and consuming until you forget your divine mission. It is a weapon of mass distraction intended to keep your lamp empty of oil. The second trap is offense and bitterness. You may find that people from your past are resurfacing, or old wounds are being triggered with surprising intensity. This is not a coincidence. It is a test. The enemy wants you to tether yourself to the past through the heavy chains of unforgiveness. If you are holding onto a grudge, you are anchored to a timeline that is collapsing. You must cut those cords to pass through the portal of 2026. The third trap is spiritual fatigue, that overwhelming feeling of wanting to give up right before the finish line. It is the gravity of the old world trying to pull the rocket back down as it tries to break the atmosphere. If you have felt a sudden, inexplicable urge to return to old habits, toxic relationships, or addictions you thought you had conquered, recognize it for what it is. It is a desperate attempt to abort your takeoff. Do not yield. If you value this guidance and want to stay aligned with these insights, make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on. We are walking this path together, and you cannot afford to miss the next set of instructions. So what is the protocol for preparation? How do we ensure we are on the right side of this shift? It is not about hoarding canned food or building a bunker. It is about hoarding oil for your internal lamp, just as the wise virgins did in the parable. There are 3 non-negotiable actions you must take starting today. First, you must initiate a fasting of opinions. The world is loud with fear-mongering and conflicting narratives. You must stop consuming the fear of the media. Your mind needs to be renewed by the presence of the I am, not the noise of the they say. Disconnect to reconnect. Second, you must perform a ruthless cleaning of alliances. You must have the courage to audit your circle. Who is draining you? Who lowers your vibration? Who makes you feel small? You cannot drag dead weight into 2026. This sounds harsh, but it is necessary for survival. If you try to carry everyone, you will drown alongside them. Third, and most importantly, you need radical consecration. This means dedicating daily time to absolute silence. God does not shout over the noise of your life. He speaks in the stillness. The specific instructions for your personal mission, the blueprints for your next step, will only be downloaded in the quiet. Understand that when we speak of saving your soul in this context, we are talking about preserving your spiritual integrity and your divine purpose. It is about bringing the order of heaven down to earth. For those who heed this warning and align themselves, the vision of the future is not one of terror, but of coronation. January 2026 will be the moment the camouflage drops. For years, you have felt like an outsider, perhaps even a misfit. That was by design. You were in stealth mode. But when the shift happens, the sons and daughters of God will be revealed. You will possess a supernatural clarity that will baffle those around you. While the world panics over economic shifts and societal crumbling, you will walk in a peace that exceeds all understanding. You will have access to miraculous provision because you operate under a different economy, the kingdom economy. You were forged for this exact moment in history. You are not a victim of these turbulent times. You are a master of time, positioned strategically by the Creator to be a lighthouse when the lights go out. I want to seal this message with a decree over your life. I want you to take a deep breath and center yourself. Understand that the fear you feel is just the ego dying. Your spirit is ready. The point of no return is, in truth, a point of total liberation for those who are ready to let go of the illusion. The time for playing human, for pretending to be small, is over. It is time to be the immortal spirit you were created to be. January 2026 is waiting for you. The question is not whether the date is coming, but who you will be when it arrives. Are you prepared to leave the old world behind? If you are, I want you to declare it boldly. Go to the comments right now and write these words to seal your commitment. I am ready. Let this be the moment you decided to ascend. Your declaration is heard, and it vibrates through the ether, setting a new timeline in motion. By stating your readiness, you have initiated a sequence of events that will begin to dismantle the obstacles that have stood in your way for decades. This is not magic, it is the law of resonance. When you align your internal frequency with the inevitability of your purpose, the external world has no choice but to rearrange itself to accommodate you. However, saying you are ready is the ignition, but the journey requires fuel, and it requires a map. We are entering a territory where the old maps no longer work. The societal structures, the financial advice of the last century, and the traditional paths to security are all dissolving because they were built on sand. You are now required to navigate by the stars, by an internal guidance system that many of you have ignored or suppressed to fit in. This suppression ends now. The friction you feel in your life, that low-level anxiety that hums in the background of your day, is simply the result of your soul trying to squeeze into a life that is too small for it. As we approach this critical shift, you must understand that prosperity in the coming age will not look like the accumulation of things, but the expansion of capacity. You need to learn how to hold more power, more light, and more truth without burning out your nervous system. Most people pray for abundance, but they have not built the container to hold it. If you pour the ocean into a cup, the cup does not hold the ocean. The cup breaks. You must become the ocean. This is precisely why we must address the architecture of your life before the weight of glory falls upon it. To navigate this transition without losing your balance, you need a structured approach. A guide that goes beyond simple motivation and offers a tangible framework for this specific era. This is where the 3 keys to a prosperous life becomes essential. This is not just a collection of ideas. It is a trilogy designed as a survival manual for the soul. It is a practical map for the chosen to finally awaken to who they really are, to heal the invisible traumas that act as emergency brakes on your potential, and to expand with stability. We are talking about learning the art of receiving, sustaining, and multiplying your blessings without the crushing weight of guilt that society has programmed into you. Whether you prefer to read the ebook or immerse yourself in the audiobook, this trilogy is the blueprint you have been waiting for. It is available for a limited time to help you prepare for what is coming. You can find the link in the pinned comment or the description below. If you feel the pull, do not hesitate. This is the tool that bridges the gap between where you are and where you are destined to be. Now let us return to this concept of the container. When you engage with these keys, you are essentially upgrading your operating system to handle the high-voltage energy of the new era. The reason so many people collapse when they achieve a level of success or spiritual breakthrough is that their character was not forged in the fire of discipline. They had the talent, but they lacked the structure. As we move toward 2026, the chaos of the world will act as a centrifuge. It will spin rapidly, and everything that is not anchored, everything that is not solid, will be flung to the periphery. Only those who are centered, those who have density and spiritual weight, will remain standing in the middle. This is what it means to be a pillar. A pillar does not run around trying to fix the building. The pillar simply stands, and by standing, it upholds the entire structure. You are called to be that pillar for your family, for your community, and for the lost souls who will be looking for direction when their distractions fail them. This brings us to the biology of your transformation. We often speak of spiritual things as if they are separate from the body, but this is a deception. Your body is the temple, the hardware upon which the software of your spirit runs. Fear is a biological signal. It floods your system with cortisol, shuts down your higher cognitive functions, and forces you into a reactive state. When you are reactive, you are easily controlled. You become a puppet of the media, of the markets, of the prevailing narrative. To prepare for 2026, you must master your physiology. This connects back to the radical consecration we spoke of. Silence is not just a spiritual practice, it is a biological necessity. In silence, your nervous system switches from sympathetic dominance, fight or flight, to parasympathetic dominance, rest and digest. This is the state where healing happens, where cellular regeneration occurs, and most importantly, where the voice of God becomes audible. You cannot hear the frequency of the kingdom if your biological radio is tuned to the static of the world. You must consciously detox your system. This goes beyond food, though what you eat matters. It is about the information you ingest, every image you scroll past, every headline you read, every violent movie you watch leaves a residue on your subconscious. It creates a background noise that distorts your intuition. Have you ever walked into a room and felt something was off, but you couldn't explain it? That is your spirit picking up on data that your intellect cannot process. That ability, discernment, is your greatest weapon in the coming years. But if your sensor is caked with the mud of pop culture and fear propaganda, you will walk blindly into traps that you should have seen from miles away. If this understanding of spiritual biology is resonating with you and you want to signal that you are cleaning your vessel, take a moment to like this content. It helps this message reach others who are also trying to tune out the noise. As you clean your vessel, you will notice that your tolerance for drama disappears. This is a side effect of the cleaning of alliances. You will find that you can no longer engage in gossip, in petty arguments, or in conversations that revolve around complaining. These low vibrational exchanges will actually make you feel physically ill. This is not you becoming arrogant. This is you becoming allergic to poison. Do not apologize for this. You are refining your energy signature. In the years leading up to 2026, your circle will likely get smaller, but it will get stronger. A circle of 3 lions is infinitely more powerful than a circle of 100 sheep. You need people around you who are also building their arcs, people who understand the language of faith and the mechanics of the spirit. When you find these people, hold on to them. They are your tribe. But what if you are alone? What if you look around and see no one who understands? This is a common stage in the journey of the chosen. It is the wilderness phase. Do not despise the wilderness. The wilderness is where God strips you of your dependency on man. If you had a crowd cheering you on right now, you would rely on their validation instead of developing your own internal fortitude. You are being isolated so that you can be insulated. The Creator is wrapping you in a cocoon of obscurity so that you can undergo your metamorphosis without interference. When the butterfly struggles to emerge from the cocoon, it is that very struggle that forces fluid into its wings, allowing it to fly. If you were to cut the cocoon open to help it, the butterfly would emerge with shriveled wings and die. Your current struggles, the loneliness, the financial pressure, the feeling of being misunderstood. This is the resistance training for your soul. It is forcing spiritual fluid into your wings. You are not being punished. You are being prepared for flight. The shift of 2026 demands that we revisit our relationship with time. The Greeks had two words for time, chronos and kairos. Chronos is sequential time, seconds, minutes, hours, the ticking clock that rules the industrial world. Kairos is God's time, the opportune moment, the pregnant pause, the intersection of eternity and the now. The world operates on chronos. It is rushed, anxious, and always running out. The kingdom operates on kairos. When you align with your divine purpose, you step out of the rat race of chronos and into the flow of kairos. In this state, you can accomplish in a day what takes others a year. You have likely experienced this in moments of flow, where you lose track of time and the work just pours out of you. That is a glimpse of your future state. The preparation we are undertaking now is to make that flow state your permanent residence. To live in Kairos, you must let go of the addiction to urgency. The system is designed to keep you in a state of urgency so that you make hasty decisions. Buy now. Act fast. Breaking news. It is all a manipulation to keep you in your lower brain. The master of time moves slowly but deliberately. Observe the lion. It sleeps for 20 hours a day. It moves with a languid, relaxed grace. It does not run around the savannah frantically looking for zebras, but when it strikes, it is with absolute precision and overwhelming power. You must adopt the spirit of the lion. Rest is a weapon. Deliberation is a strategy. In a world of frantic prey, be the calm predator of your goals. Stop reacting to the emails, the texts, the demands of others as if your life depends on it. Reclaim your sovereignty over your attention. This reclamation requires a shift in identity. You must stop seeing yourself as an employee, a consumer, or a victim of circumstances. You are a sovereign spiritual entity having a human experience. When you walk into your workplace, you are not there just to trade hours for dollars. You are an undercover agent of the kingdom, planted there to shift the atmosphere. When you go to the grocery store, you are there to radiate peace in a place of stress. When you realize that your presence changes the molecular structure of the room, you stop seeking validation from the room. You become the thermostat, not the thermometer. A thermometer merely reflects the temperature of the environment. A thermostat sets it. For too long, you have been a thermometer, going up and down based on the emotional climate of those around you. It is time to set the temperature. If you are ready to be the thermostat in your home and your community, consider subscribing to the channel so we can continue to reinforce this mindset together. Let us deepen the understanding of the point of no return. In aviation, this is the point where the plane no longer has enough fuel to turn back to the airport of origin. It must continue to the destination, no matter what storms lie ahead. In your spiritual journey, you have passed this point. You know too much to go back to sleep. You cannot unsee the matrix. You cannot unfeel the call of God. Trying to go back to your old life, your old friends, your old habits would be like trying to wear shoes you outgrew when you were 10 years old. It would be painful, grotesque, and impossible. The only way is through, and through means walking into the unknown with total trust. The unknown is only scary to the ego. The ego craves predictability because it thinks it can control the outcome. The spirit loves the unknown because it knows that is where miracles are born. The shift in 2026 is the collapse of the predictable. The institutions you thought were permanent will shake. The career paths that seemed safe will evaporate. This sounds terrifying to the sleepers, but to you, it should sound like liberation. When the artificial structures fall, the organic reality is revealed. You are being positioned to build on the fresh ground. While others are mourning the loss of the old world, you will be busy constructing the new one. This is why you have always felt different. You were not built for the maintenance of the old system. You were built for the architecture of the new. There is a specific trap we must warn you about as you approach this timeline. It is the trap of the savior complex. As you gain clarity and strength, people will be drawn to you. They will want you to save them. They will want to cling to your raft because theirs is sinking. You must have the discernment to offer them the rope, but not jump into the water with them. You can show them the way, you can offer them the 3 keys, you can pray for them, but you cannot carry their karma. Each soul has its own contract with the Creator. If you try to interfere with their lessons by saving them from the consequences of their choices, you are actually blocking their growth. Compassion is not enabling. True compassion is holding the light steady so they can find their own way out of the dark. Guard your energy fiercely. Your first responsibility is to your mission. If you deplete yourself trying to save everyone, you will save no one. This discernment extends to how you handle your resources. The kingdom economy we mentioned is not about hoarding gold. It is about flow. Money is currency. It must move to be alive, but it must move through righteous channels. In the coming years, where you spend your money and where you invest your energy will be a spiritual act. You will need to divest from companies and systems that promote destruction and invest in those that promote life. This includes investing in yourself. The education system taught you to memorize facts. The new era requires you to master wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge applied. It is knowing what to do when the rules change. Think of the story of Joseph in Egypt. He knew the famine was coming. He did not panic. He prepared. He built storehouses. But notice this, he did not just store grain for himself. He stored enough to feed the nations. Your preparation is not selfish. You are building a storehouse of wisdom, of emotional resilience, of financial resources, so that when the famine of truth hits the world, and it is already beginning, you have something to feed the people. You will be a distributor of hope. People will come to you asking, "Why are you not afraid? How do you have peace in this storm?" And you will open your storehouse and share the bread of life. That is your destiny. As we move closer to the target date, you may experience physical symptoms of this shift, changes in sleep patterns, vivid dreams, a sense of time speeding up or slowing down, sudden intolerances to certain foods. Do not run to the doctor for every little ache. Listen to your body. It is recalibrating. You are moving from a carbon-based density to a crystalline structure of consciousness. This is a metaphorical way of saying your capacity to hold light is increasing. You might feel a pressure in your head, specifically around the forehead, the seat of the pineal gland. You might feel heat in your hands or a vibration in your chest. These are signs of activation. Trust the process. Your body knows what to do. It has an innate intelligence that predates modern medicine by millennia. Give it rest, give it water, give it silence. We must also address the concept of stealth mode mentioned earlier. In the military, stealth aircraft are designed to be invisible to radar until they are right over the target. You have been in stealth mode. Your talents have been overlooked. Your voice has been ignored. Your contributions have been minimized. This was protection. If you had been exposed too early, the enemy, the forces of entropy and distraction, would have targeted you before you were strong enough to withstand the attack. You were hidden in the shadow of the Almighty. But as the camouflage drops in 2026, you will be revealed. This revelation will be sudden. You will find yourself in positions of influence you did not campaign for. You will be given resources you did not apply for. Doors that were locked tight will swing open at your touch. This is why the cleaning of alliances is so urgent. You cannot take people with you who will be jealous of your sudden elevation. The spirit of jealousy is one of the most destructive forces in the universe. It is rottenness to the bones. You need to be surrounded by people who celebrate your rising because they are secure in their own. If you have friends who make snide comments when you succeed, who remind you of your past failures, or who try to keep you humble by diminishing your light, you must distance yourself. Love them from afar, but do not give them access to your inner sanctum. Your inner circle is for those who can handle the voltage of your destiny. Let us visualize the timeline between now and January 2026. See it as a bridge. You are currently standing at the entrance of this bridge. The bridge is narrow, and below it are the turbulent waters of societal change. You cannot take your heavy baggage across. You must drop the bags.